Advocates, and this live reading of my book, Belief Systems: Who Decides the Truth, God or Man? And I'm going to be reading chapter number 7, which is Naturalism and Atheism. I usually, when I do this, I try to read the chapter and then I try to respond to comments at the end. But today I'm not going to be able to do that. I've got some other obligations that I've got to make in just a couple of minutes, and so what I'll do is read this, and then I'm going to have to sign off so I can go take care of those obligations. So the Lord bless you and keep you, and make his face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And here we go, chapter 7, Naturalism and Atheism, a Closed Universe. Some belief systems do not merely modify religion, they remove it entirely. Naturalism and atheism attempt to explain reality without reference to God, revelation, or eternity. The universe is treated as a closed system. What exists is all that has ever existed or ever will exist. Matter, energy, time, and chance are sufficient, at least in theory, to explain everything. Now, this approach is often presented as neutral, objective, and purely scientific, but it's neither neutral nor free of belief. It is a worldview with commitments, assumptions, and consequences. It answers the same 4 questions every belief system must answer, even if it prefers not to frame them that way. Naturalism does not eliminate belief, it relocates it. A closed universe is one in which nothing exists beyond the physical. There's no God who speaks, no soul that survives death, no moral lawgiver, no final accountability. Reality is limited to what can be observed, measured, or inferred through natural processes. This commitment shapes everything else. If the universe is closed, then revelation is impossible. Miracles are excluded by definition. Meaning must be constructed from within the system. Morality must be explained without reference to anything eternal. The closed universe is not a conclusion reached after investigation. It is an assumption made at the outset. Evidence is interpreted through that assumption, not the other way around. Naturalistic systems often criticize religious belief as unscientific or faith-based, yet naturalism itself rests on unprovable assumptions. It assumes that only natural causes exists. It assumes that human reason, produced by unguided processes, can reliably determine truth. It assumes that the universe is intelligible without an intelligible source. These assumptions cannot be proven by science. They are philosophical commitments. Naturalism requires faith that matter can produce meaning, that chance can generate reason, and that morality can emerge without moral authority. The difference is not belief versus non-belief, it is which beliefs are allowed. Naturalism answers the question of origin with accident. The universe exists because it happened to exist. Life emerged through unguided processes. Humanity is the result of time plus chance plus survival. And this explanation removes intention from existence. There is no why, only how. But explanations of process do not replace explanations of purpose. Knowing how something functions does not explain why it exists. When origin is accidental, meaning becomes optional. Purpose is not discovered, it's assigned. Life may feel meaningful, but that feeling has no objective grounding. It is a byproduct of biology. A belief system that begins with accident cannot logically end with purpose. Because naturalism denies ultimate purpose, meaning must be created by individuals or societies. People are encouraged to find their own meaning, to define their own purpose, to live authentically according to personal values. At first, this sounds liberating. In practice, it is fragile, meaning that is self-assigned can be self-erased. Illness, loss, failure, or death can strip it away. There's no guarantee that what feels meaningful today will remain so tomorrow. Naturalism borrows the language of significance while denying the foundation that makes significance real. People live as though life matters deeply, even while embracing a system that says it does not matter ultimately. This tension cannot be resolved without a closed or within a closed universe. Perhaps the greatest challenge for naturalism is morality. Naturalistic systems often speak passionately about justice, rights, dignity, and equality. These concepts are treated as self-evident truths, but where do they come from? If humanity is the product of unguided processes, then moral instincts are evolutionary tools, not moral truths. Right and wrong become descriptions of behavior that aid survival, not obligations grounded in anything eternal. Now, this creates a problem. Survival does not equal goodness. What helps a species survive is not always what we call moral. Natural selection explains behavior, not obligation. It describes what is, not what ought to be. Yet, people raised in a naturalistic systems routinely speak in moral absolutes. They condemn injustice. They demand accountability. They appeal to rights that transcend culture. And in doing so, they borrow moral capital from a belief system that they deny. A closed universe can describe moral feelings, but it cannot justify moral claims. Naturalism places great trust in human reason, but it must also explain where reason comes from. If human thought is the product of unguided processes aimed at survival rather than truth, then confidence in reason becomes difficult to justify. Evolution selects for behavior that works, not beliefs that are true. A belief can be useful and false at the same time. If that is the case, then naturalism undercuts its own foundation. It asks us to trust reasoning that arose without any commitment to truth. Biblical faith grounds reason in a rational creator. Naturalism must assume reason works while denying any ultimate reason for its reliability. Naturalism answers the question of destiny without finality. Death is the end. Consciousness ceases. Individual existence dissolves. Legacy may remain for a time, but even that fades. This conclusion reshapes how life is viewed. If death ends everything, then accountability disappears. Justice becomes temporary. Hope becomes psychological rather than real. Some embrace this view stoically, others avoid it altogether. Many live as though it is not true. The persistent human longing for eternity does not disappear simply because systems deny it. A belief system that cannot offer hope beyond the grave must explain why humanity refuses to live as though death has the final word. Naturalism persists not because it answers life's questions well, but because it removes discomfort. It eliminates accountability. It removes divine authority. It allows autonomy to remain intact. A closed universe means no one is ultimately in charge. Truth becomes negotiable. Morality becomes flexible. Judgment becomes obsolete. For many, this is not a philosophical conclusion. It is a preferred outcome. While naturalism promises freedom, it delivers isolation. While it removes fear of judgment, it removes hope of justice. While it denies authority, it dissolves meaning. People raised in closed universe systems often struggle with anxiety, despair, and moral confusion, not because they lack intelligence, but because the system they inhabit cannot support the weight of human experience. Life feels too important to be an accident. Love feels too deep to be chemistry alone. Injustice feels too wrong to be subjective. Death feels too final to be ignored. Naturalism has answers, but they do not fit the questions. In the next chapter, we'll focus specifically on morality, how belief systems attempt to ground right and wrong, and why some must borrow from others to survive. But before that discussion, one conclusion must be clear. Naturalism is not the absence of belief. It is a belief system with far-reaching implications. It closes the universe by decision, not discovery. And once the universe is closed, meaning, morality, and hope must be manufactured or surrendered. Every belief system must answer the same questions. The closed universe answers them with silence, where eternity should speak. All right, that is the reading of chapter number 7. I've got to go. Got some things I got to take care of. The Lord bless you, keep you, make his face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.